Hi everyone, this is Rae Del Sol, and I wanted to talk to you today about why we really become angry at others. We see someone acting in a certain way that we don't feel is right and we'll become angry. Perfect example is the hoarding. When we see this taking place, we can feel a sense of, we can become very disgruntled and their lack of dignity and their selfishness. But what's really going on? What's really going on is that what you're seeing in them is something that's being a reflection of what you feel inside you. Are you fearing a lack? It doesn't really matter what in. If you're fearing a lack, you're going to see that type of behavior and it's going to affect you in a negative manner instead of understanding that these people are just acting out of pure fear. And if we understand that, we don't need to feel as though they're doing a disjustice to anyone except for themselves. Is it fair? No. Can we overcome it? Absolutely. Do we need to get upset about it? No. Does that mean that we shouldn't make a mandate that states you can only purchase a limited amount for yourself? Sure, if that's what needs to be done. But it doesn't mean that we need to become angry or upset or anything over it. What happens is that when we see behavior that reflects something that's within us, it triggers us. And that's when we have the feeling of, how could you? Why would you? How dare you? Who do you think you are? All of those come up, right? But what's actually happening is there's a part of us that we don't care for that resonates with it, with that behavior, that mindset. If you have a fear of lack, if you're feeling as though you have lack, yeah, it's going to affect you in a negative manner. But when you understand that you have enough and that you're good enough, you're going to see it for what it really is. Someone that's scared, that's acting like a child, because that's what they are in that moment. We don't need to judge them. Does not mean they don't need to be corrected in a proper manner. It just means that we can help them to understand by not playing into the fear as well, by leading by example, having a cool, calm head, and seeing within us what is being triggered. If we see within us what's being triggered, we can then move on to heal it. When someone in our life doesn't act the way that we want them to, and it upsets us, say you're married and your partner spends too much money. They're acting from a place of fear, lack mentality. Well, if I don't have it, I don't have enough. Not realizing that what they have is enough. If you've set a budget and you've come to these decisions together and they're unable to adhere to those, that includes everything else too. Infidelity. If they do not stay within the parameters of your relationship, why is that? There's something behind that. They're not feeling as though they can have a successful relationship. And if you become angry and say, why me? That's because you're not understanding that you are capable of having a successful relationship. If they're not able to overcome these behaviors, then you have to decide for yourself, is this a healthy place for me? But there's no need to play into the fear of it that's behind it. If they can't get over it, if they choose not to move past it, then that's their choice. If you have someone in your life that's addicted to drugs or alcohol or pretty much anything, it's because they're feeling a lack within themselves. Does that mean that you take part in the behavior? No. But does it mean, excuse me, but does it mean that you should be a part of that behavior? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You decide whether or not that behavior is healthy for you. Is that behavior healthy for me? And is it healthy for me to be around? If it's not something that you're going to do, then it's not something that it's healthy for you to be around. Okay? Just because we love someone doesn't mean that we have to accept certain behaviors from them. And we need to do what's best for us. Now, I'm talking about these things in general terms. They're much more difficult to apply in real life. But at least it might be a starting place for you to think about what's fair, because you need to start thinking about what's fair for you. Is their behavior having a negative effect on you? Then perhaps you need to remove yourself from their vicinity. Are you willing to work with them to get past this, whatever it may be? Are they willing to put in the work as well? And then ultimately, can you forgive yourself for allowing yourself to be put in this position to have to choose? It's not so much about forgiving them. It's about forgiving yourself. What inside of you has put you in this position where you didn't see it? That's a tough one. Were we so desperate to be loved, to be in a connection? Did we not love ourselves enough to realize what love really is? What love really is? That's a big question, isn't it? What love really is. This is what love really is. Love really is loving yourself, choosing yourself, what's healthy for you. If you have children, what's healthy for the children? It's saying, no, I'm worth much more than what my partner is giving me. And I see that and I realize that. Am I going to get angry at my partner because my partner is not capable of giving me what I need? They're not capable of it. Why am I going to get angry at them? But it doesn't mean that I have to stick around for it either, now does it? We have a tendency to look at other people's shortcomings and not realize that we see those things as shortcomings because we're not looking at them and seeing them in ourselves. Right? We have everything in here that we see out there. If you see something that you find to be a negative act, emotion, mindset, belief, it's because it's in here as well. Right? Every single person is a mirror for us. Every single person shows us where we're not loving ourselves enough. Yeah, we're capable of that, to see that in others. So by them behaving in a manner in which they behave that we've perceived to be negative, they're actually doing us a blessing. And we can say, oh, that's why I put up with it, because that's how I felt inside me. Nothing has anything to do with them. Everything that you feel is within you. We put our emotions off on other people all too often. If you're not okay with who you are on the inside, you're not going to be okay with how someone else acts. If someone breaks up with you, they break your heart. Why? Because they didn't choose you. But why didn't you choose you? Why is someone going to choose you if you're not choosing you? if you're sitting there waiting for them to change or to come back, what are you really waiting for? You're waiting for you to understand that there's a lack mentality within you. Yeah. That can be pretty heavy. Oh, no, it wasn't me. If they didn't do this, if he didn't do that, if she didn't do that. No, 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 no. Why did you put yourself there in the first place? It was to learn something. It was to learn that you have something inside of you that's telling you that that's something that needs to be accepted by you, or that that's what you're worth. No, no, no. Find your own worth. Find your own center. Understand what you're worth. Understand that you are a beautiful, beautiful, wonderful, special child of the universe. And without you, we wouldn't be whole. Each one of us is connected. Each and every one of us comes from the same place. We are connected. And without you, I am not whole. Does it mean that if you're putting me through crap that I don't deserve, that I'm going to stick around for it? Oh, no, no, no. Because I understand that I don't need to. Will I be there for you if you call me for help? Sure, if it's not going to be a detriment to me. But until you realize how special you really are, I have to let you be who you're going to be. I have to let you learn your lessons. And that's okay. There's so many of us out here that don't understand how special we really are. We're just one of the millions, right? But if we're just one of the millions of grains of sand on the beach, you remove one of those grains and that beach is no longer whole. You remove one of those grains and everything shifts. It may be so slow and so minute that you won't notice, but it's no longer the same, is it? You have an hourglass full of sand. Each time you remove one of those pieces of sand, what happens? It loses part of who it is, what it is. Find what you're lacking inside of you and understand that everyone's just a mirror for us. Okay? Peace to you.